Hey guys, Jordy here from It's a True Story, and today we have an amazing guest. I'm here with Dr. Jenn Gunsaullus. She is a sociologist and a sexologist, and we're here to talk about great sex.
Yes.
Yes, so I know normally I'm like brushing dogs' teeth and making grilled cheese sandwiches. No.
So similar.
It's the same idea. It's a lot of work, a lot of patience. So here's my question for Dr. Jenn.
Yeah.
How do people normally think about what great sex is? Like, what do people think?
It's funny because I think people have this idea of like, oh, I'm good at sex or I'm a great lover if, like guys, for example, if I can last a really long time.
Right. I mean, I think that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
for myself, not for guys.
It's going to last as long as possible. Yeah, that's a misconception, I guess, from porn. I think another misconception is that it's all about technique. That it's all about the specific skills, and that like if you're a dude and you're heterosexual, then that you like all women can be pleased in the same way. And you just need to know that specific order and those techniques of how to do things.
Right. And what about from like the female perspective? Like what do we like? It's like because I feel
it's
like
a lot of technique also.
Right. Like, yeah. We have to be all porno, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Performing porn star is what I call. So and it's this funny thing that a lot of particularly young women end up like disconnected from their own pleasure and their own bodies. Because they're in their head and they're performing and they're like standing back and objectifying themselves. But like once you're with somebody who's like actually paying attention to your energy, they're gonna be able to tell like you're not even present there. You're performing, and so that can make for some hot sex,
but
not long-term hot sex
because
you're totally disconnected from your own pleasure and you fake it then. I think because porn really, and that's where a lot of us and a lot of you do get sex education at this point, and like that hands-on nitty-gritty sex education. But that is so focused on technique. It's so focused on the physical aspect. And to me, what does it mean to be good at sex is that you are looking at the physical component, but you're also looking at the mental, the emotional, the social, the spiritual, if that's relevant to you. I think one of the most important pieces is being present in the moment. Again, like we get in our heads of like how we think we're supposed to be performing or what we think we're supposed to be doing, and that ends up disconnecting us from the person that's right in front of us and our five senses and all of the pleasure that's there and this amazing enjoyment of the body in front of us and all the nuances of their feedback of what they like or don't like. That's what makes you a good lover.
But if you guys want to know more about technique, there is some stuff in Dr. Jenn's den. There's going to be a link in the description, so you're going to go check that out.
I think the number one thing that gets in the way of anything meaningful sexual communication, consent, pleasure, being connected with your partner is our awkwardness, is our fear of being awkward, and like that, like we want to feel like we're good, we want the person to like us, we don't want to feel judged, we don't want to feel stigma, like all of that heaviness that we have around sex, and the fear of the awkwardness around either shame or the embarrassment of that gets us in the way of just freaking showing up and being like, this is what I got. I've never been with you before. I don't know what you like. Let's talk about this. I know I know it's awkward to you. It's awkward to me. And it doesn't matter. Like if we can just be like, hashtag awkward is okay. Like it just
hashtag that. Hashtag awkward is okay.
That would make the biggest difference, because then you'd be able to ask questions, then you'd be able to gently give feedback, then you'd be able to explore. Because otherwise then you feel like you always need to know. And there's no way you can know when you have a new body in front of you. Everybody is wired differently.
Right. So you guys, this is what Dr. Jenn does. Like she talks to people, so she has patients. She literally has clients who come in, not patients, but clients who come in to talk about this stuff. Yeah. And are there any examples that maybe you could give so the people out there in the true story land can know, that you're not alone. Like everyone comes in and goes, oh my God, like this is a thing that I have and I did, and what do I do with it? And how would you help somebody sort that out?
Well, I mean, to go back to what we were saying in the beginning, like that a lot of men do have the belief that they have to last a long time. I had a married couple. They've been married for several years. And like, she wanted sex, he wanted sex, yet they never seemed to want it at the same time, and they kept missing each other.
This may happen. And I'm not saying it happens to me, but it happens to people.
Yeah. And then she found out, she's like, that she thought they were going to have sex at night, and then she found out he was watching porn and jerking off, and then she had her feelings hurt, and I thought we were going to have sex, all of that stuff. So I sat them down and talked. Turned out they had completely different conceptions of what they thought the other one wanted sexually. And he was like, I don't know. He's like, I masturbate ahead of time because I want to be able to last longer. And she goes, I don't want it to last that long. I actually wanted it a lot shorter, and I just want all this foreplay. And he's like, really? Yeah, he totally thought he was.
So that's a married couple.
But they had never talked about the nitty-gritty of sex and just assumed what the other one wanted, and never occurred to them that that's not what their partner wanted.
So why do you think that happens? Why do you think that people...
Because we don't freaking talk about this stuff.
We don't. And we're like living in a world maybe where...
And it's shame. It's shame-based. It's fear of judgment. Depending on the religion you grew up with. You might have grown up in a household there was total silence around sex. which is a lot of then shame and guilt and embarrassment, and you're just like fumbling around to figure stuff out, and then you learn from porn, and then you've got this real body in front of you that's not like easily satiated and isn't just moaning right away. And
right. I mean, what can a person do that doesn't have access to go meet with you, Dr. Jenn?
Yeah.
Like, where are there resources? Where are the places that will plain speak to you about how you can have enjoyable sex and protect yourself and all that good stuff?
I mean, I'd say the basic stuff in terms of just kind of the nitty gritty of our bodies and STIs and safer sex and things like that. Planned Parenthood website and Advocates for Youth, fantastic resources.
We're going to put links in the description.
And those are great resources for parents that want to know how to talk to their kids.
Right.
And how do you talk
so
about
awkward.
How do you talk about consent? How do you talk about birth control? How do you talk about condoms? How do you talk about like boundaries of their body? How do you talk about love and intimacy and relation? LGBT topics, transgender topics, all of those. They have fantastic resources on those websites.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, you just brought up something interesting because it's all of this is like there's a whole body image component too, and that's a huge part of it for men and women. Like we're supposed to look a certain way and be a certain way. That's all tied in with that too.
Yep. Yeah, because the more saturated we are with media, and the more saturated we are with ideal images of perfect bodies, particularly women. As women, we are raised with a greater emphasis on
not
our
everybody
value.
can have this.
Like
you can try.
But I mean, and that's a heavy weight, and then that comes into the bedroom, as if we're being, judged by society when we're in the bedroom, and when the place where you want to be most vulnerable and intimate, and just let it all go.
Yeah. All right, y'all. This is just the tip of the iceberg, I feel.
Just the tip.
It's just the tip. And there's so much more. There's so much more, but for right now, that's just a little taste of Dr. Jenn, Dr. Jenn's Den. Now, I'm going to put all the links, like I said, in the description. If you like what we're doing, please like us here. Please subscribe. I'm back. I'm every first Thursday and last Thursday of the month. Today it's about sex. Tomorrow, who knows? Let me know in the comments. And for right now, I want to say thank you so much to Dr. Jenn. That was a very eye-opening. And now I have a lot of work to do. And I'm not watching any more porn. I mean, maybe you are.
A little bit.
See you soon, everybody. Thanks for watching.